The iRODS data grid uses in-memory structures to manage information exchange between microservices. A mechanism is needed to extract variables from the in-memory structures. This can be done by invoking an appropriate microservice for parsing the structure. For the case of results returned from a query, the dot operator is used. The types of structures that are used in iRODS include keyword value pairs, used to specify sets of parameters, query result list, used to return results from the ICAT catalog, integer lists, status return information, string lists, status messages. Consider the rule snippet shown here. Star Q equals select sum of data size, count data ID, where call name like $rod zone clients, home, $username client %. For each star R and star Q, size is doubled r dot data size, star num equal int star r dot data ID. Right line standard out, collection has star num files with total size star size. Both the size and number of files in a collection hierarchy are found. A wildcard character for queries, the %sign, is appended to the end of the string that specifies the collection name. The collection name is specified as the home directory of the person who is interactively running the rule. The session variables $rod zone client and $username client are used to create the collection name. The query will identify any collection name that contains the home directory. This includes all subcollections. Each row in the result list is a structure that contains both the data size and the number of files. Notice that the operations specified in the select statement have to be performed upon different persistent state attributes. The result of the operation on the persistent state variable is returned in the structure in the location where the persistent state variable value would have been listed. The dot operator can be used to create lists. We will create a rule that generates a list of all of the extensions used in a collection and count the number of files that have each type of extension. We need a way to dynamically add extension names as elements to the list and simultaneously store the number of files for each extension name and the total size of the files with a given extension. The steps are: create a list for the number of formats, star num format, create a list for the size, star size format. We add an element to each list for each new extension. For instance, star num format.ext, star size format.ext. We then save the number of files and size in the element for each extension. Star num format.ext equals star number, star size format.ext equals star size. A rule that employs dynamically created lists is shown here. The rule creates a workflow variable star C to define recursively all of the collections within a home user account. This is done by appending a %sign to the home collection path name. A rule function, summary, is then called to list the number of files and size of files for all extensions used within the home collection. The select statement retrieves the file names and file sizes. List elements for total size and total number are created and initialized to 0. In the loop over the files, a policy function, ext, is called to extract the extension from the file name. The total size and total number are incremented. A test is made to see if the extension has been previously found using the contains function. If the extension has not been seen before, a new element is added to the list using the extension as the name of the element, the file number is set to 1, and the size is set to the size of the file. If the extension has been seen before, the elements in the list for the extension are incremented. Policy functions are provided in the rule base for use by any rule. The policy functions provide standard operations such as checking input parameters, manipulating strings, creating log files, etc. For this rule example, the policy functions are ext star file. This extracts an extension from a file name by returning the characters after the last period in the file name, and contains star num format, star ext. This checks whether the list star num format contains the element star ext. The list star num format dot star ext contains the names of all of the extensions that were found. The value of star num format star ext is the number of files for the extension. The list star size format dot star ext contains the names of all of the extensions that were found. The value of star size format dot ext is the total size of all of the files with the given extension. Take 7 minutes to complete exercise 46. Write a rule that finds the number of files in your collection. Construct a query with select count data ID where call name like $rodzone client /home $username client %. Extract the number using a dot operator inside a for each loop. Star num equals star r dot data ID. Please load your rule file into the lifetime library in the subcollection class INLS 624 by the end of today's class.